Evening peeps out there in YouTube world. We call this video in Melbourne tonight. That could be one of the one of the names you give this video. Anyway, I'm distinguishing Melbourne from Geelong because I would not class Geelong as part of Melbourne. Geelong is a lot nicer. Beautiful city by the bay. Anyone who lives in Geelong, well, the Geelong part, I know there's suburbs there that are quite rough and probably, undesirable, but anyone who lives in a lot of parts of Geelong, blessed to live there. You could get up there, just a stone's throw away from the beach, and all the yachts and boats out there on the jetties. On a nice sunny day, a lovely place. My video tonight is going to be my favourite Beatle. My favourite Beatle is John. Now, as we all know, John is no longer with us. He was tragically shot dead in the prime of his life by a man named Mark Chapman. I believe it was Mark Chapman. A man who was obsessed with his story, The Catcher in the Rye. I still can't work out what connection that has to the reason he shot John, even though I've seen a documentary about it. But the reason I've chosen John as my favourite Beatle is because he was the rhythm guitarist of the Beatles, predominantly. Now, I've chosen him because I play rhythm guitar. I learned all kinds of guitar when I first started learning. Probably the Beatles became my hero, or heroes, when I first started, when I took the guitar up again when I was in about year 7, about 12 years old, after learning a little while and giving it up. I needed to mature a little bit. Probably, I learned a lot of their songs just for notes. So, like my teacher would strum along with the chords, and I'd just sit there playing the notes. Songs like Nowhere Man, Let It Be, Get Back, Ticket to Ride, Hey Jude, just playing the melodic line. And so, of course, as I matured as a guitarist, I sort of got away from playing melodic lines. I could still do it, but of course, that's not what people do, It's not as a guitar. You wouldn't stand up there on a stage playing the melodic line reading from sheet music. You wouldn't do it. I mean, I play on the stage at church now, play the chords, and I do have a music stand in front of me, but this is chords. The songs, are quite awkward, but I strum along and play rhythm guitar. So, as I've said, that's why I've chosen John as my favourite Beatle. Now, I did delve a little bit in lead guitar, mainly to the extent of learning riffs. The classic riffs like the riffs from Smoke on the Water, Iron Man, All the Day and All the Night, Sunshine of Your Love, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I learnt all those kind of things, but that was probably the extent of my lead guitar. I can't actually play lead guitar as such, like to a song, or if someone, if I just got together in a group, I couldn't just play lead guitar and play like riffs and notes. As I've chosen John as my favourite Beatle loosely, as I've said, only because he was a rhythm guitarist and I play rhythm guitar. I mean, I don't have the talent he has. I probably couldn't even play the guitar as good as Ringo. But I had to choose one, and John was the one I chose. He was a very talented man, and he could probably put his hand to anything. I learned a little bit of bass from time to time, but probably not. I'm not really proficient on bass as such. Paul could probably play much better rhythm guitar, lead guitar, bass, anything than me, but I don't know whether Paul delved in playing like 6-string basses or 5-string basses, whereas, I only ever learnt the 4-string bass anyway. George, very talented as well. They were a great group all together, and George could probably play rhythm guitar, as I say. They could probably all interchange and play bits of everything, each other, you know, very talented musicians. But what I'd say is everyone at one stage picks a favourite Beatle. The Beatle I have picked is John. Feel free to leave a comment in the comments section if you wish. And I'll sign off for now. Have a good evening.